Welcome back to Madison, Wisconsin. We've got the Premodern tournament here at Misty Mountain Games. Ben Rasmussen, joined with Mike Heup. Sorry, Mike. We're in for round two here. We got Corey Carlson versus Ricky Thorson. And we're going to just about get ready to go here. Got Corey on a lands build with Ricky on mulch oath. And as we try to get the players' attention here to go ahead and fire off.
It's me trying to get BK's attention.
Yeah.
That's the real trouble.
That's the real trouble here. It looks like Ricky's on the play and leading us off with a windswept heath.
Yeah, so Corey's playing a deck that I love. It got lands, anything with exploration and Hornagreed.
Sounds fun.
I'm a big fan of. Ricky is playing, I think it's a deck that's been more popular lately that I'm not as familiar with, but it's like the Mulch Oath, and that has a bunch of like the mono green land destruction spells. So maybe not the ideal situation when your opponent has like 30 lands in their deck.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, there's still ways of like Spear of Resistance and Rishadan Port to kind of really stunt your opponent.
Yeah,
so.
I expect the Terravores to be rather large.
Yes.
So we started off here with exploration into two lands on one side, and we got a windswept and a cycle. Moving on to turn two with Ricky here. I'm seeing a Sphere of Resistance as a possible, or a Sylvan Library here.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to want to lead with Sylvan Library, as
Yeah.
like typically like this deck doesn't pressure your life, and
Yep. That seems
though
true.
I mean, yeah, and also given your opponent has a bunch of lands, then usually
your
not,
Sphere isn't
resistance
as,
is not
isn't
as
as good.
effective.
Yeah. So Corey picks up his Paradise, Undiscovered Paradise. Let's get my brain working this morning here, and is playing himself a port. And
Yeah, Undiscovered Paradise is really cool in this deck, and not only does it provide different colors of mana, but like coming back to your hand is actually appealing once you get a Horn and Green play. That like you just get more triggers.
Obviously not quite the same as it was when you had land tax, but little.
Well, when you have 30 lands in your deck and you're trying to turbo them out, you probably have more lands in your opponent.
That's fair.
So like
that's
this
fair.
is a type of deck that didn't really care. The card that he just played was Mana Breach. Yeah,
yep.
so this is I haven't seen this in all the lands list, and so
This is whenever a player plays a spell, you can return a land to they return a land.
yeah, it's a must. So
It's
like,
a must, yes.
if your opponent's casting a bunch of stuff, then they're gonna have to be bouncing and slowing themselves down.
It's going to be an interesting thing here with the Sphere of Resistance.
Yeah, very interesting tension of people both have kind of prison elements.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. So won't be too surprised if we just bled the Terravore out here. Yep. Okay, picking up.
How big is this guy right now?
He didn't know what that Mana Breach did. We're looking at a 3/3. No, sorry, a 2/2 right now.
Okay. Though I mean the Wasteland can make that a 4/4.
Pretty quick.
At
Yep.
a
And
moment's
I'm
notice.
guessing it will be, because that'll take care of that treetop over there.
Oh well, I guess Corey has a Wasteland of his own, but I guess
We could wasteland our wastelands.
yeah, I guess that
that's
still grows the terrible.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be in the business of that. He's going to be in the business of swords to plowshares here is what he's in the business of. So, gain a couple life. We got remove Terravore, and he's got to return a land, I think, here, if I understand our interactions. He's going to just choose this Undiscovered Paradise. Weird. And looks like he's going to play himself his own wasteland. And do that wasteland to wasteland thing. Seems like what's going to happen. Okay. Future Terravores can double as large here.
So Sphere Resistance of Corey's own.
Yeah, I feel like we got some overlap in cards here. Okay, we got a draw step, and then we're wasteland. Man, we're just all in on...
Well, it's funny. Like both players, I think, are like very happy about wastelanding the opponent because they're like, "Oh, I have a bunch of lands in my deck," and
but
they
somebody
both
has a little more.
yeah.
For the actual land counts here,
Actually, it might be pretty close.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's Oath has 29, and the lands deck air quotes, has 30.
Yeah.
So we're, both on a lot of lands. So
Ooh, does Corey have the Horn of Greed in his hand? So if he's able
I
to get
can
that down, I mean, like,
I'm doing the lean over to look
yeah,
at his
yeah,
hand
yeah.
thing, and just it's not working on the camera, strangely. So
He does have to get up to 4 mana because of the sphere, but
yeah, his own sphere here stopping him on that. But
that's probably
he's
the
gonna
most,
just pass.
like, that's often one of the most important cards in the lands deck is you can just like churn through your deck after you just change.
There's a Winter's Grass.
There's like a Thermokarst and Winter's Grasp.
Okay. So we got more. We got 8 green land destruction spells here. Mentioned that ahead of time. Okay. Now we're getting out there that Horn of Greed. So it's kind of what's going to make the deck sing here a little bit. Play a land, you draw a card, and that works. One of those fun reciprocal cards, though. So
Yeah.
both sides are.
Well, here's like, I mean, these Undiscovered Paradise.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
I'm a little surprised he's not just jamming, like, take 8 here to get some land. Oh, there he goes. Okay. I was going to say, to get some cards off the top of his deck. He was just staring at Thermokarsts there, which
I don't
not
know.
doing him any favors.
I mean, I don't know if Ricky knows Corey's list, but Corey actually has Black Vise. So, like, he could be in a spot where if he's aggressively using his life and then adding cards to his hand, with this current board state, that would actually kind of punishing with the Sphere and the Mana Breach.
For sure.
And the Horn of Greed. So all those kind of add up. But I don't, like, Corey's list is not something that was super familiar with. So, I mean, Ricky's pretty tuned into Premodern, so maybe he has an inkling of what that the Black Vise is there. But
well, he's running out this Thermokarst. I assume we're targeting a port here.
That's a Winter's Grasp.
Oh, I apologize. I even called it the right thing last time. For those who don't know, they're the same magic card, other than if you destroy a snow land with your Thermokarst, you get to gain a life.
I would be excited to see if someone gained a life.
Yeah,
we should check in with Ricky.
We're a little light on snow reasons, right? In Premodern, there's no Screds or anything. So
I think the best reason is, like, I can't remember the name of the card. It's basically Pestilence, but like it costs 1 less, and you can only use snow mana. That's probably like the highest payoff.
That seems pretty low ceiling, but I mean, on the flip side, you're not too often going to get ice quaked or what do you call it?
Thermokarst.
Okay, we've got a Withering Wisp.
Yes,
is what we're being told. Thanks, chat. Very smart. Okay, we've got something just happened here. I can't tell exactly. Cast a green spell. That's a new frame.
That's an exploration. Yeah.
Okay. The reason you have me in the booth is I'm old and I remember the old frames.
Yeah.
These newfangled cards really just not working out well for me on that. So we're doing a lot of picking up of cards here after casting some spells. Play a land, draw a card.
So Corey should be able to churn through his deck
relatively
somewhat quickly. I mean, like, and then it's kind of awkward for Ricky because anything he does is going to add cards to his hand, whether it's playing a land or playing a spell.
Yep.
And
as
eventually
soon as we find some vices.
Yeah. So I think I like
Corey's board state. Yeah. Corey's doing what his deck wants to be doing, which is usually a good sign that they're winning.
Yeah.
Even if the life totals don't really say so yet. Okay, so we're looking at that a powder keg and treetop and powder keg in his list, or am I making it up? Yeah, there's a powder keg. Okay.
And that's a
way to interact with the board. Although, I mean, gets those explorations off the board. That's probably.
Oh no, it doesn't hit enchantments.
Oh, never mind.
Don't make that mistake.
Okay.
Everyone does. I mean, you could get to the point where you're clearing off the sphere or the Horn of Greed or maybe a Black Vise that he hasn't seen yet. But
well, currently he's just on plan try to limit his mana, but I just don't see this one working. We're churning through our deck way too much, and like we said, literal half his deck is lands. So that was land 1 for the turn. He gets to play 2 more because he's exploring.
Yes. Mishra's Factory.
Corey may not look like it, but he is a dedicated explorer of the wilds.
All right. We might need to give him a badge or a vest. Or...
Yeah, we need to get him a Wilderness Explorer badge. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. He's thinking real hard here about casting a spell through his Sphere of Resistances. Oh, another Sphere of Resistance. How fun. that Black Vise, when he draws it eventually, it's gonna be.
He's got 4 in his list, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna cost 3 mana, but I think he's pretty excited.
I think he's gonna be okay with that. Ah, there's one. Although he, I think he maybe wishes he had sequenced his spells a little differently.
Oh,
there.
he still had a land drop, so.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. He's way smarter than I am. So we're gonna, tap 3 mana here to put this thing in here.
It's funny that like.
Oh no, we need 1 more mana there. Yeah. Yep. Sorry, bud.
Corey's deck has like a decent amount of bookkeeping in terms of spheres and undiscovered paradises.
Yeah, we're not gonna be quick.
Yeah.
On the draw here. So, I mean, clearly Corey has way more reps, as in he has some than I do, but I'm not sure why we didn't. Oh, I see. We're gonna Rishadan Port.
Yeah, I mean, I guess preventing your opponent from doing anything is, I guess, the idea, and
sure.
The Black Vise will come down next turn, so as Ricky goes to discard.
Okay, yeah, I cannot imagine that this is gonna be one of those games. I think that's just gonna end when he puts that Black Vise on the table, and
well, I mean, he does have that
he does
powder
have
keg,
powder keg. Fair. But it's a one of, and I think it's still hanging on the top. Well, I mean, he can just hang out on top of his deck for a while, but.
Yeah, I mean, it might be.
He also has 1 naturalize in his list. That should, he has plenty of targets.
Yeah, I would say I'm like Corey can really demolish. Like if you wasteland the Rishadan Port and then you port during the upkeep, you really can deny any mana. And with 2 spheres in play, Ricky's kind of a long ways away of casting that powder keg.
For sure. And we're just drawing all the magic cards here, so.
Well, and so Corey can take his time because like if he's just implementing a prison element and like he doesn't want to give his opponent any opportunity to cast like any
like
potential,
a
yeah, like and so like he's got his prison element, like things go, and like he doesn't need to cast the Black Vise this turn. He's gonna cast another exploration.
Could he just decide on a single picture? Oh, I see. Okay, this one's
I will
same
say,
as
I will
the other
say,
one.
he had messaged me. He was putting the deck together last night. He did ask for explorations, so
this is your fault.
I think he bought some when he came here, or he borrowed it from someone else, and so.
Okay, well, we always encourage people to buy cards from the store when they come to them. So,
Yeah.
and Corey is a store owner, so. So we're gonna think real hard about. Well, no, never mind. We're gonna tap and untap some lands. My favorite hobby in Magic: tapping and untapping lands. Okay, that's a lot of mana to cast a 1 mana spell here. We've got all the explorations online.
I think, and so are they? I think it's 4 different arts, is it? Or maybe
no,
not.
these
two
two of them are the same.
Okay.
Actually, they're pairs. We
They're
got
pairs,
pairs.
Okay.
We've set up here. Okay. There's the top cards of his deck are really not good.
How do you feel about
A Mox Diamond that costs 2 mana. I think he feels pretty good about this.
Yeah,
He gets to get rid of a card out of his hand.
and it's a source that he has to pick up a land. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
This mana breach, like I've never seen the mana breach in action, but in this matchup in particular, it seems to have really slowed down Ricky. So.
Yeah, this is a rough situation for him. Excuse me. Okay, so we're moving to Corey's draw step here.
I don't know if you've ever been in this situation, but like for Corey, I love it when you're just in the spot.
You're like,
I have a Horn of Greed. You can draw 1 million cards. You could shut down your opponent's stuff, and it's a blast. So.
Yeah, you can just do whatever the heck you want. Yeah. So we're playing land 1 of 5 here. I got to tell you, I cannot come up with any combination of cards that are going to work out for Ricky. I think he's mostly just here to see what cards are in his deck.
I mean, he could be.
There's a little downside to that because both these decks are slow. And you don't want to spend too much time seeing what your opponent has before you pack it in an inevitable matchup here.
I mean, I will say that like Corey's like, well, I mean, his actions are pretty quick, at least.
It's not
mechanically.
Yeah, mechanically, it's just this deck is going to take a while to play out. And you want to be able to, if you're sitting on Ricky's side, you want to be able to play 2 more games. So
Yeah,
there's a little bit of a...
And it could be part of it is like, I don't know exactly how you're killing me. Like, are you just planning on beating me down with Mistress Factory, or is there a card like Black Vise? And so, like, that information could be valuable for Ricky.
Oh, more Horn of Greed.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get greedy.
I think, personally, that he keeps returning that with this Mana Breach card that's on your screen. Oh, it just went away. Never mind. Mana Breach says when you play a spell, you got to return a land to your hand. Mash, but that's not what he's actually doing most of the time here. He's mostly tapping them. They bounce right back. So at any rate, we're, I think, contemplating how to lock him down and maybe still have... Okay, we got a Wasteland. Yep. We're...
Being...
Ooh, we got a Karn.
Oh my god.
Just one of those shiny Karns that everybody owns.
So Corey was talking to me last night, and
he's like, I'm gonna kill some Moxes with my Karn, because that's what he just did.
This is so funny. So we were talking about this. He's looking at this list. I'm like, send me this list because I'm not familiar with it. Like, and he's like, I have this foil Karn, and I kind of want to play it, and I'm like, I don't know if it's actually good. He's like, well, it blows up Moxes, and in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I don't know, like your 5-drop blowing up Mox diamonds is any good, and this is exactly what happens as soon as he gets on camera.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna show you, buddy. Okay, so we got sideboarding happening here. I assume Ricky just decided that was enough pain for him. So we've got on the Corey side of the equation here. He's got some Oath of Druids, some Nishobas, Crumble, Gaia's Blessing, and Phyrexian Furnace. Perhaps I don't think an Orum's Chant is really what he's looking for. No. Those are his options, though. Are we looking at... I mean, I don't think these Oath of Druids are going to do too much.
Yeah, I mean, he saw a Karn.
Yeah. No, sorry, this is Corey's side of the house.
Corey has him in the sideboard.
Okay. Yeah. Crumble? Is there enough over on the other side to play a Crumble?
I mean, Mox Diamond is kind of like a pivotal part of
his way to get around it.
Yeah, so like I wouldn't mind seeing Corey
bring 2 of them. He might bring in he's got some Gaia's Blessings. Furnace is a way to control the graveyard a little. So okay. I don't know how much of that you want, though. You don't want to dilute your deck. On the other side, we've got our own Black Vices. He's got 3 naturalizes. I feel like those are probably coming in. There seem to be a few targets for that, so probably in there.
So I mean, I think Ricky can take out his Oath of Druids, right?
Yeah, that's not gonna help. So we do 4 Oath for 3 naturalize.
Do you ever think about taking out like the land destruction spells?
I don't know. Do we have enough to bring in? Okay, that's the real problem. Can you bring out... I mean, I don't think any of these things that he has over... Zuran Orb? I mean, not really doing what he needs to do here. Black Vise of his own might be okay.
Okay.
Curse Totem?
Nope.
Not doing anything. Defense Grid?
No.
That doesn't seem like it. Elephant Grass? We're not attacking.
No.
And Croson Wreck? That might be it. I think we're probably on Oath of Druids for Croson Wreck and 3 naturalizes.
All right. Well, and the Black Vise. I think the Black Vise.
The Black Vise might come in, and then you can side out some handful of probably Thermokarsts or Winter's Grasps here or something. I'm not gonna lie, I don't love this matchup if his Terravores don't live.
Yeah, I mean, I can see like Ricky if he comes out early, and well, it's kind of problematic because it's like you have land destruction spells or the spheres, and like Corey just does a good job of drawing out of that. And
I mean, he's playing his own spheres. Yeah. Like it's entirely possible that like you don't love. I mean, you're doing the same thing they're doing, and one of you is doing it better. Yeah, that's what it boils down to, right? When you're not playing a mirror, but you both have some of the same cards. Mm-hmm. And the Sphere's Resistance certainly look a lot better for Corey than it did for Ricky that time. Yeah. Especially because you want to cast some 2-mana naturalizes here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe we're a little light on
I mean, I can
Not
see
options here.
situations if I think Ricky's most important card is Mox Diamond, and then
Yeah, if we can go Mox Diamonds, like Sylvan Library turn 1 and
Mhm.
Terravore turn 2 with a fetch land or something like that, and then have some way to control their lands, keep Corey under 3 lands so he doesn't get Horn integrated into play.
yeah,
Maybe you can do something there, but um, Corey's got Corey on his side probably brought in he's got a 4th swords in his deck, his
yeah.
sideboard. I would probably bring just
Oh, he
a little.
mulligan that? That hand looked really good to me.
I
It had, like,
I
it had,
was
like,
too busy
lands.
looking at a deck list instead of his hands.
I saw Wastelands, Trevor's Ruins, Swords,
Do
Horn
we
of Greed.
have no mana?
No, there were at least 2, and
But were they both wastelands?
no, one was a Wasteland, one was a Trevor's Ruins. And I thought there were more lands too. I don't. Maybe Corey's looking for something different, but I mean, like, in terms of the way I feel like he loses, which is Terravore, I feel like they had a lot of the tools, like lands, a way to remove Terravore, and then Horn of Greed.
Sure.
Is a pretty good way to fight what Ricky's trying to do.
But, the man is playing a Horn of Greed.
Yeah.
So perhaps he is channeling that card for some extra greedy. Oh, now we're mulliganing into 5. See?
Okay. He's preemptively playing around the Black Vise.
Yeah, his own.
Well, Ricky. I mean, like, he didn't see it from Ricky, but Ricky's got him in the sideboard.
That's true. That's true. I really wasn't paying attention to see if they both sided a pile of cards in or not. So everybody is sad about riffle shuffling. You guys are all weak. Riffle shuffle for days. Single sleeves.
Yeah, I would say that's one nice thing about, like, pre-modern is a lot of. I don't double sleeve my decks.
Oh,
So
I have the opinion that it should be illegal to do more than double sleeve your deck. If you show up triple sleeve to a tournament, nope, nope, you're causing a problem.
you got big hands.
You're causing a problem.
All right, looks like Corey's keeping his hand. He's gonna put 2 cards on the bottom. What are we seeing? I think there's. Oh, is he putting a third? Did we mulligan him one more time? Oh no, these are the cards
He's just keeping these cards. This is how I actually do it too, and I'm like trying to figure out. I'm like, I need this one, this one, this one.
I would say
we can
it
put these
depends
back.
on how many times I've mulliganed, but there is a point where, yes, I decide which cards I go to keep. But I think when I mulligan to 2, I still put the 2 on the bottom.
Yeah, fair. Okay, well, we're thinking real hard here. I'm sure Ricky's giving him a hard time. Okay, here we go. We've got Treetop starting us off. The City of Brass followed up here. Oh, he did bring in the Black Vices.
Rishadan Port tapping a City Brass, dealing a little damage.
Oh, I mean, I think he's telling him that's what he's going to do. And, oh, wait.
At least you get to use that mana. with the
Oh,
Enlightened
well,
Tutor.
yeah, I think he was saying he was going to do it during upkeep.
Oh, okay.
And went to do it, and Corey's like, I got an effect
Oh, yeah,
at the
yeah.
end of turn.
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
And that effect is finding one of these fine exploration cards. Okay, now we've tapped. We're going to 18. Oh, we've messed up our totals. He doesn't know what to do. There we go. Okay, we're gonna manually. There you go.
So
nope.
for everyone at home, this is something that happens at least once per tournament. So there's like a little image underneath the number, and it's like it starts with a little heart, so that's your life. But you can cycle through different things like poison or energy or whatnot. So he tapped that, and it cycled to the next thing.
It was very confusing.
So
yeah, I was watching the previous match out there, and it was a little rough. Okay, we're undiscovered into this exploration we drew. We've got 2 lands there. He's just a little concerned. Oh, he's thinking about wastelanding that Dust Bolt, I think, or maybe his green source. Actually, he's got many options. So many options. If it was me, I would get the Treetop because I'm worried about mana sources, but he is worried about getting his own stuff tapped.
All right, so getting rid of the port should open up. I mean, yeah, it should open up more mana for Corey. So
yeah.
But Ricky has a prison type hand that he's just gonna go for the naturalize right away.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, like, using the naturalize on that card because
he's going to 1 land. So with it, he has to pick up the undiscovered. So
the problem is like because Ricky's deck is slow. That like
Fair.
Eventually, I think Corey's gonna play out his lands, and like it might be better to shut off a card like Horn of Greed or maybe even Mana Breach. but I can understand it.
Or when your own lands get a little rough here and you play your Black Vise, it's a little weird here because Ricky definitely has more cards in his hand than and we're gonna get Hornegreeted right here. Okay, well,
All right,
it's gonna be interesting.
Corey has no fear of the Black Vise.
He does. I mean, Ricky has way more cards than him, so.
Well, Black
Okay.
Vise doesn't. It's not symmetrical.
Oh yeah, sorry. We're gonna go ahead and find.
Okay, so multiple naturalizes. That makes a lot of sense.
Thinisphere.
This is a real good sequence.
Yeah, that.
For-
Yeah, you wanna get rid of the threat.
So it's kind of funny because like maybe there's a weird world where you're like fine keeping that Hornegreed in play because it kind of plays into what you want
for sure.
and
kinda...
because so much of what Corey's deck is lands, and if you just save the naturalize for a different spell, that you can kind of maybe just have the Black Vise be more pressure.
Okay, we got a Terravor in play, and all we got is Mana Breaches in hand. So I don't know about you, but this Terravor is looking rather beefy here. I think it's a 5/5 or a 6/6. I can't actually tell.
I think there's 3 from Ricky and
There's at least 2 in the yard over there.
Okay.
How big are we? Gonna talk about it? Oh, well, we realized Mana Breach costs 4 mana with Sphere of Resistance in play.
Okay.
How big's our Terravor? We're gonna go and find out. Yeah, it's a 5/5.
Okay.
Okay, well, 5/5 crushing in.
And I guess in some ways that's probably a
more
bad thing
sphere.
that the man lands weren't activated on that turn, because that means Ricky's going to use his mana, so applies more of a prison element with another sphere of resistance. So Corey looking in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he can cast this Black Vise. It's going to do a lot.
I guess if he found swords, then Ricky still has Treetop Villages and Mishra's factories, so this looks real good for Ricky. And
okay, well, just how everybody drew it up. I mean, to be fair to the matchup, the previous game was pretty dominated by the fact that there was a Swords of Plowshares. Without that Swords of Plowshares, that early Terravor would have actually been a problem.
Yeah. I think a big difference is Ricky having the naturalize to slow down.
Yeah,
Corey. And I mean, the way it played out, I debated whether using it on the exploration was a good call, but I think that game would have been a lot different if Corey had multiple land drops each turn. So
for sure. But even then, the cards he was the Hornegreed would have obviously changed them. The contents of hands.
All right, who are you liking on this third game?
Well, if I like whoever doesn't mulligan to 5.
Okay,
that's a good. It's a good indicator. It looked like Ricky did side out, like you said. His land destruction, or at least some of it, or he didn't draw it.
Sure.
It's always possible. You have 8 cards in, don't see them.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that Ricky just has too many cards that I think are probably quote unquote dead, right? Like Oath of Druids are doing nothing in this matchup. The land destruction doing very little, and when you're only playing 31 actual cards, it's pretty rough when 12 of them are not good. So, having said that, he definitely sided in Black Vise and Naturalize for 6 of those, so that helps. And I think Corey's deck has a bunch of cards he wants to draw, and unfortunately for Ricky, he's probably sitting there with at least 6 cards, maybe 5 that he definitely doesn't want to draw. Ricky won by attacking with this large Terravor.
Yeah, he had sphere resistance pretty early.
Yeah.
And then Naturalize took out some key elements for Corey.
Yeah. Okay, so we're drawn here. Corey is looking at an upside down hand. Not sure why we're doing that, but it's one more.
All right.
Okay, well, I see lands and spells, but I don't see a green source.
I
see Wasteland.
I think it's a Treva's Ruins. I think this card right there. Oh, no?
It's not.
Maybe
not.
not.
Land spell. No. Oh, no. Maybe.
Paradise.
I don't know. I think
guess-
maybe Corey's mulliganing a little more aggressively than we would think. But again, I have played 0 games. So
I mean, he might be prioritizing certain cards, and like, well, you could wasteland your opponent, but if you're not able to like progress in any meaningful way, maybe he's just worried about like a Terravore coming down and
yeah,
slapping you in the face.
That's true. I mean, even if you are doing what you're trying to do, the Terravore can be a big clock.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's unfortunate that like if Corey's using wastelands,
Yeah.
that like if a Terravore were to come down and it's just kind of like you contributed to the clock there
In a big way.
Yeah.
Okay, Corey does not look pleased with this hand either, to be honest, but I think he's going to keep it.
I see a Crumble, a Phyrexian Furnace. I don't know what the white card is.
Is that a Words of Wisdom? No, that's a blue card, Ben. Is that a... I don't actually know.
It looks like a Sacred Ground, but I don't... Is that in his list?
I don't see a Sacred Ground in his list.
All right. Well, we'll figure out eventually.
Chat, help us out. What do we think that card is? Anyway, we were leading with a Furnace. This is... Early on, this might help with the Terravore. You get to stick that turn 1. It's one of those cards that pre-modern, you got to do what you got to do to keep your graveyard under control here.
Yeah.
And you have that, and Tormod's Crypt is like your options, right?
Yes. I mean, Withered Wretch is a card that's...
Sure, in his deck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Ricky's going to have a Rishadan Port, which is going to tap the Paradise, so that doesn't make it return the next turn. It's only if
you
you
do
use
have
it
to
for
tap
mana.
it for mana.
Yeah.
Unlike the thing. Also, they may figure out that they are not at 19 and 12 here on their life totals.
This should be the point I think that they figured out.
Oh, they look. Ooh, Thermokarst is still in the game. Okay. We're targeting this thing here, and maybe they'll figure out that Corey's not at 12.
I'll go let him know real quick.
I think they know. They just also know that there's.
It's easy enough.
They're a little light on time because you started the clock here for us, right?
It's I think about when they started playing. So.
Yeah, but the clock they're seeing out there is
Probably.
5-ish minutes
Okay.
faster than that because we did hold them up for your viewing enjoyment. So Sacred Ground would make sense. We agree, but he would be. I don't want to say. A cheater, but he would not have correctly registered that magic card if that is in his list.
All right, so Ricky's going to add a Sphere Resistance. Corey's going to continue to whittle away at the Phyrexian Furnace. So, I mean, it also might get to the you might also get to the point where Corey's targeting himself with the Phyrexian Furnace because, like,
yeah, he wants to get rid of lands.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any benefit. Well, I guess does Corey have Gaia's Blessing? But either way, I think like the downside of having lands
is much higher in this matchup than the ability to get them back. Yes.
So that turn 1 Phyrexian Furnace could be a big player in this game.
Yeah. What's going to be a real big player here is that we're going to destroy a lot of lands because it turns out that nope, we didn't take out the land destruction spells.
Okay.
We just didn't draw them last turn. Okay, so we're going to tap here, and I believe Crumble's getting cast here. Yep. Okay, so Sphere of Resistance going to gain us a little life. Going up to 21 on our board. And yes, we're aware Corey has the wrong life total. Sadly, he's across the room and we can't yell at him. Well, I mean, I could probably yell. My voice is good that way, but we're not going to do that. At any rate, Corey here is trying to figure out if he's going to play this Horn Agree. Nope, he's not because he doesn't have any lands. Going ahead and...
Was he cycling the Furnace?
Yeah, I think he's going to learn what his Furnace does here. Doesn't it remove the whole yard?
No, it targets one. It's like a scrabbling.
Oh yeah,
It's
The tools! The tools are just a little different. in
Relic of
Premodern.
Progenitus, too powerful.
Yeah.
Too powerful. We
Yeah.
need the Scrabbling Claws version.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Okay. So now to the person who has some mana here, I think we're thinking real hard about whether we're gonna get ourselves this Sylvan Powder Keg could be your play here, or Sylvan Attack. Sylvan Attack. Bang! Okay, life totals are now correct both on screen and on the player's side, so suddenly Corey's life total became relevant, so he cared. Okay, we're looking at some depletion counters. They're not technically depletion counters, but they're counters that are depleting.
This Gemstone Mine, like it being at 1, like cycling that, I don't know. I do not like that cycling that furnace. I don't know if you really needed a card, but like losing a counter on that Gemstone Mine is not
rough.
appealing. And now like I don't know this. I guess this mana breach. I guess you can
sort of. You're low on mana. He can just attack you with mana lands.
Yeah,
that's what I would do. And I mean, I'm definitely the person you want to listen to. Oh, I just wouldn't even do that. I would let that live.
Yeah.
I'm a little, but okay. Let's back up. He does have a Black Vise in his hand. So.
I think it's a Ray of Revelation. Is that in his list? In Corey's list?
The white yeah. No. Ray of Revelation not in the list either.
All right. Well, I'm at a
Hold
loss.
on. Nope. Yes, it is. There you go. You got it.
All right.
That is the card. I was looking for it in the sideboard, but it is in the main deck. That makes a lot of sense.
All right. Terravor has come down. It's
a friendly neighborhood 3/3, I believe.
Yeah, I mean the
4/4.
Well,
no, it's a 3/3.
It's just 2 lands from Corey, right?
Oh, yep, you're right. That's an artifact, not a. You know, it's the fun game of trying to zoom in without zooming in. I can use my mind's eye to zoom in on the board state.
Enhance.
Yeah. I need to get some.
He's got another Phyrexian Furnace, so that will.
Okay, we got a 1/1 Terravor. Uh oh. Can you sack it to just kill the Terravor? You lose your land. Oh no, you can't, because the Gemstone Mine will go away to state-based effects before. Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. That won't work. You're gonna have to wait a turn. My kingdom for a land, right there is what he's saying. Oh, and now the wheels are gonna come out. I would just hate myself here. Hate yourself, come on. Nobody knows what it's like to feel.
This Terravor is gonna get bigger, and
sure.
While we talked about Corey being resistant against like land destruction, given he has 30 lands in his deck,
it turns out you still have to draw them. It's very weird.
And Ricky gets to apply the pressure.
Yeah,
with Terravor
in here for looks like 8 damage by my maths, going to 10. And we drew a Wasteland. That is very helpful for the beatdown brigade here.
I would say
you could prevent 1 damage by getting rid of that treetop. I don't think this one is looking very good for Corey. Okay. Oh, and we've got thermal cards. Oh yeah. We stopped being a coward and we took some damage here. Oh wow. Oh, that's a wild. Oh, there is a thermal card.
Yep. The Winter's Grasp.
I'm sorry.
The brother land destruction, they just get mixed up all the time.
Team, I'm sorry.
I like how
Okay, well we're gonna
a gemstone mine with 1 counter is getting targeted.
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious. We've decided that having 1 permanent in play is not a winnable situation.
Yeah, Corey concedes at the point where he can talk, because if that Wasteland was used, then
then you can't concede. That's a real problem.
You're not allowed to speak. So
if you have no permanents in play. Okay, well that shows exactly what we know. Land destruction smashes Corey's face here.
Yeah, it's just so funny that Corey's like probably like sitting down, and as soon as he sees like a land destruction spell, he's like, "All right, this is fine. Like, this should be a matchup. I should be okay. I got 30 lands in my deck." Nope. Ricky was able to like really put on the pressure and apply I mean, it felt like a little bit of disruption, but I guess in that game it was a lot.
So what did we sideboard? We sideboarded in 6 cards and took out Oath and
A mulch and a Sylvan Library.
Yeah.
Sylvan Library seems great in this matchup.
Yeah. I was surprised, but
I guess if you're worried, kind of like how the first game went, that like the prison elements from Corey and then drawing extra cards could be problematic.
sure.
But,
But I want to see my reactionary spells here.
yeah,
but-
the nice thing is like initially Corey doesn't really apply pressure to your life total, so the Sylvan Library can be exchanged for cards and then kind of uses that Sensei's the Divining type effect.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Have we talked about the charity that we're?
No, I don't know if J-Bro or BK was talking about it. Maybe they did in the pregame, but yeah, the Premodern Fall Cup, we do have a charity for the Briar Patch Youth Services, as we've done in the past. We have some raffle items that I do think are available to the public, so beyond the people
They
that are here.
right now for about, my understanding is if you want in on any of the items that are out there, we're going to start drawing here after the next round. So if you're going to purchase remotely, you can do that, I believe, in the Discord, right?
Yeah, I think that's how they're doing the coordination. I know the payment gets through PayPal, and you kind of say what you want. The items that we have, there are some altars of cards that have been done by BK's wife, and then there's a painting of Volcanic Island. So to note, it is the Magic Online one, so not the original art, but
And to be clear, it's a print. Right.
Oh, it is a print. Okay,
Yeah,
I think they wrote painting out there. So
yeah, it's not an original.
Okay.
It's a print.
All right.
It is signed.
Okay.
It is a signed print.
There's a Gaia's Cradle playmat.
Yep. And then there is the sweet Magic holiday sweater.
Okay. I don't know if
is-
that one's available for the remote people.
Oh.
I don't remember. I can't remember. They say like that's one that's like you get it for a quarter. Then you're expected to return it.
It's
it's like
it is a size small.
Okay.
So I got to tell you, it would fit well on my head. I could wear it as a scarf. I'd probably get I do have a giant noggin, so
Okay.
So if you want any of that, those raffle tickets are $2 a piece. You can hook that coordination up on the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll link to that maybe in the chat here at some point.
Yeah, I'm going to do some admin stuff, and so we're going to go on a break.
Yep.
And I'll get the information that we need for the raffle. But
we'll put that on your check your chat messages.
Yep,
and
this round should be ending soon, and we should be
jump into the next.
Yeah,
I believe it'll be Brian and myself coming back.
Okay, so don't go anywhere. We'll take a short break as we get things set up for round number 3. Thanks everyone for tuning in.